Hello, geniuses. My name is DJ Tuft, and you're watching a special for the record segment in honor of the late Mac Miller. Mac tragically passed away on September 7, 2018 after an accidental drug overdose. And while he's no longer with us physically, the release of his latest album, Circles, proves that his legacy continues to live on. I first met Malcom in 2010 walking down 23rd Street in Manhattan after a friend, Arthur Pitt, introduced us. Unplanned and by chance, I ended up hanging out with Mac later that night at producer Statik Selektah's home studio in Brooklyn, as I saw him write and record. He was a rapper in every sense of the word. I watched him light up that night as he wrote lyrics back and forth with terminology for their record, 8292. That same night, Mac Miller's friend and partner, Quentin Cuff, played me Donald Trump months before it dropped, and it was clear to me that he was gonna be a star, was no question. After that day, we became real close, and we did a ton of interviews at XXL, MTV, and even here at Genius. It was during those early interviews that Mac gave me the name DJ Tuft, aka Too Ugly for TV. Early on in the days of Kids, Best Day Ever, and Blue Slide Park, Malcom started being labeled in the media as a fun rapper, a happy-go-lucky rapper. And in a lot of ways back then he was. He was a kid who started pushing his mixtapes in Pittsburgh staples like the store Time Bomb, and performing in underground spots like Shadow Lounge, paying his dues. But early on, it was clear that Mac had this yearning to grow as a rapper and as a musician. I remember going to Stage AE in the Berg for the last show of his Blue Slide Park tour and watching as he connected with the crowd with more emotional songs like Missed Calls. I remember watching him pull out a white guitar, strumming and singing Biz Markie's Just a Friend, and having no idea that that rapping-ass kid that I saw in the basement could play the guitar. He went on to grow musically. First, there was 2012's Jazz EP U, which he released under the name Larry Lovestein and the Velvet Revival. And by the time he dropped his second album, Watching Movies with the Sound Off, Mac was producing a big chunk of his music under the name Larry Fisherman, and had mostly shed the image of a kid rapper. Projects like Macadelic, Run on Sentences, Delusional Thomas, and Faces found Mac with the range of his creativity on full display. Good AM, The Divine Feminine, and Swimming continued that growth. Mac's latest album, Circles, is a companion to Swimming, meant to complete the thought, swimming in circles. As a friend and as a fan of Mac Miller, it's hard hearing him sing, "Every now and again, baby, I get high," on the album closer Once a Day. But if you knew Mac personally or through his music, then you know that's how honest he was. But at the same time, he was delicate and he was endearing. The album is emotional and honest and raw, but there's no pity party. On the song That's On Me, Mac takes accountability for all of his faults. But even when things are messed up, he reminds us all to live a beautiful life on songs like Surf. Back in October 2019, I was amongst a group of people invited to hear Circles as Mac's family, managers, label, and producer John Byron played the album. It was definitely hard to listen at first, but as I settled in and played the album on repeat this morning, I did so with a smile on my face. Remembering that kid who I met rapping nonstop in Statik Selektah's basement, and seeing how much he's grown as an MC, songwriter, producer, instrumentalist, and overall artist. It's inspiring. Malcom was just fearless, man. On Complicated, Mac sings, "Some people say they want to live forever, and that's way too long. I'll just get through the day without any complications." And it's a practical thought. And while he may be gone physically, Mac Miller's spirit will certainly live on through his music. Rest in peace, homie.